Mr. Hillinger.
Yeah, no, I'm loud. I just, the thing is that, well, part of that was, what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what's hearsay, if a police officer denies that somebody even exists, or actually mentions that there was a rumor about a police officer holding a gun to somebody's head or whatever, then I think that, both sides have to be heard. And it's, if both sides can be heard, then we can figure out what is and what is not hearsay. And the other thing that I think that would be really neat is if the county, when the county does these inspections, it seems like they just go on, they get their warrant or whatever, and they go onto the person's property. And the deal is if they're going on there with guns and whatnot, I would think that our county would have enough resources to find out who is actually living there, who owns that property, if they're a gun owner, a registered gun owner, if they have any type of record, criminal record, or if they're even renting to somebody, because most of those questions you can find out either by going to a neighbor, or driving by the house, or looking up public records, instead of just showing up with 4 or 5 guys with, supposedly what we've heard from people, guns, so on and so forth, to do these sweeps. Either that, or even, if there was a complaint that they had, if it was an anonymous complaint about a neighbor, one of our neighbors here, why couldn't they come to the Little Rock Town Council and said, hey, you know what, I understand George Smith down there, we need to go, we need to inspect his property. Gee, do you know him? Does anybody on the town council know him? Can we soften him up? Can we have witnesses? Can we come together as a community? If our police officers are here to protect us and be part of our community, then they should be good citizens, just like everybody else. And if there's a bad seed, well then, if a neighbor knows, well look, really, yeah, we've heard about that guy, there is a possibility there could be drugs on his property, or he could, have guns, he's a nasty person, or whatever. Well then, yeah, then be really super cautious and take a whole bunch of folks in there maybe, But I even asked Mr. Farrell, I said, what about ride-alongs? What about checking with neighbors? I gave him a whole lot of what-abouts so that our police officers don't get bad rumors started on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a rumor that got started, well, how did that get started? And if there's a witness there, or a group of people there that help soften it, or help actually go in there while the inspection is going, okay, you know what? Hey, Tom, it's going to be okay. They're just here to check the place out, okay? And that way a rumor won't get started because there are witnesses. So I just think that it would be nice if the county and the community could come up with a standard operating procedure for everyone instead of surprises and stuff. At least that's what, that's my understanding of it. That's why I want to hear everybody's story. That was one of the things that I talked to Deputy Farrell about a few weeks ago. I was at the Sun Village Town Council, and he had jumped up and just made a comment that, hey, did anybody hear any rumors about the NAT team holding a gun to a lady's head? And everybody went, whoa, where did that come from? I said, were you there? And then what I did was I said, well, the thing is I don't know. And he was talking about an article that was written in the journal, okay? And then he just went on, and there was nothing to actually prompt that. And then I stood up and I said, well, you know what? And because he started talking about powder guns, paintball guns, this and that and the other thing. And all I said was, well, look, you know what? You seem to be intimidating people. And sometimes if people are intimidated, then they might start stories or whatever. It's what they see. And I said, look, if I approached you and I had a squirt gun that looked real, you might be intimidated enough to shoot me right there on site. I mean, there's been mistakes recently where a guy will reach for his cell phone. He's going to call his wife. Hey, honey, I've been around. You know, yeah, the cops just pulled me over. And they get shot because he pulled a cell phone. Okay? And I had mentioned to him, okay, well, maybe we can put together a committee. You know, a committee, a community committee along with the county NAT team to soften things up. To even help the NAT team, make it easier. If they need to go on and make an inspection, and he says it's, you know, well, that could be too dangerous or whatever. You know? So I don't think it would be if you went about just doing it the way you need to do it. Because, you know, if an old person needs their yard cleaned up and it's a mess, well, yeah, an inspector's got to tell them you got to clean it up. But, you know, bring friends in.
Mr. Hillinger, there's a man right next to you there in that white shirt that has a comment right there with his hand up. Would you give him the mic?
I don't know anything about the gun issue thing, but I do know whether it did or did not happen. I know a fact from my circumstances, they just outright lied. I had a hearing, I'm a condemned homeowner already. I have thousands of dollars worth of lumber on my property and tools, materials, supplies, materials there from when I moved in my backyard. And they said it was an eyesore. They said my property's substandard. They say it's obnoxious to the neighborhood and impeding their ability to enjoy their own property. And I don't know how my property does that. I worked construction for 42 years, and my yard looks like a construction zone because I'm out there working and building things. I actually brought the wood there to create some storage to put the things in that they're complaining about. But they complain, and they call them garbage, trash, and debris. Now I don't have garbage, trash, and debris, and I went to the hearing that they had in Alhambra, because that's where they called me, and they're finding me. They're going to put a lien against my property. They're going to come. They want me to give them permission to come on the property, which I won't. I don't want them to come and take my things. Why would I give them permission to come there? They said that it's detrimental to the health of people. So how can I allow them to come there when it's detrimental to their health? I have to tell them to stay away. Besides, my insurance doesn't allow their contractor and employees to come on my property and be covered by my insurance. So I can't allow them to come on my property because it's already been condemned by the county of LA. So I don't understand why they want to come on there. But anyway, at the hearing, they testified under oath that I have garbage, trash, and debris. And I had bought rocks from my yard to the hearing. But it's a kangaroo court. They didn't even let me speak. Because the first thing I was going to ask them is, are you God or Superman? Do you have x-ray vision? Tell me if there's trash or treasure in this box. Of course, they couldn't tell me that, so they avoided that question. And they just outlined. So they say, they have decided that I am guilty of this thing that they want to call it. They're there to clean up the mess. They want me to get everything out of there, all my personal property. My question is, where do I put my personal property? On your property, on county property, or should it be on my property?
Yeah, we understand that. Thank you very much for your input. We appreciate that.
Bill?
I'm going to,
Bill,
oh, yes.
on these ride-alongs, they have forms and releases you can sign.
Yes, but that's just for the police. I think it's not for the NAT. And that's
Well,
one of the things that Councilman Hillinger was questioning him about. Is it possible to develop a ride-along situation for the NAT team?
Well,
So
can we
far,
have,
it's not possible.
well, can we have some sort of committee to vote in something like that?
We can't. It has to be done by the sheriff's department. Keep in mind that a NAT team is like an empty box. It says NAT team. There's a commander. And when they are going to do something, they pick this man from the fire department. They pick this guy from the sheriff. They pick this guy from code enforcement. They pick this guy from Department of Public Works, and so on. And when the inspection is done, the box is empty again until the next time. So there really isn't. And the NAT team is one of the most difficult things in the world to really define properly. That's why we wanted to talk about their procedures, policies, rules of engagement, how they form them, and so forth. Ultimately, I'm sure we're going to find that information. But right now, I just want to thank everybody for coming. By all means, go back and buy a couple of tickets. And we'll look forward to seeing you again next month. Thank you.